I'm sorry this has been such a nightmare.
I don't want you to know what it feels like to keep all of this pain so concealed. Like I want out of this plane. I told my psych, you don't need to, you don't need to. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, the times we had, yeah. All these pleasures my brain can't have. I want out, so please don't be sad. Give it up, cause I'm getting out. Don't be sad, you could let it out. All the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you could send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out. This is the end of my part now. We will be never apart, no. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. Don't leave, I need you with me. Don't die, I need you alive. Don't go, don't leave me alone. You said, yeah. My entire life feels like one big mistake, and all these pills inhibit reuptake. I can't arrive at any reason to wait. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. And I don't care, cause I don't give a take. From this world so superficial and fake. In all your joys I simply cannot relate. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. I say goodbye, it's getting late now. Please don't cry, you'll know I made it out. Say goodbye before I fade out. Before I fade out, before I fade out. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had. Times we had, yeah. Let it out, all the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you can send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the zoo. I'm the Rusty Panda, and I'm here for you. Today we've got the RavenArmed up on the show. Wah, 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 wah. I feel like you needed a proper entrance. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing well. It's a good Wednesday. It's 92 degrees here, so that's sucky. But other than that, nice day.
90. Are you
Yeah,
in Florida?
Missouri.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, all around it. But it's Kansas City, so it's like, but still. Um, and then it's hot. Is it hot by you?
I mean, it's not 90 anymore. It was earlier today. But in Georgia, the humidity is like we live in a rainforest, basically.
Oh my
So
God.
imagine just like heat that's like if you were to have like a wet blanket around your neck the whole day. It's kind of like that.
Oh,
So it's fun to drag.
oh man, that sounds awful.
It's a
Um,
party.
it's a party. Well, this is Wiki Wednesday, guys, the show where we get a streamer to give us 15 things they like, 5 things they don't. We go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole, learning things about the streamer, learning things about the topics, learning things about ourselves. It's really quite an awesome concept. The first thing I put up here was emo because I'm so excited to talk about it. It's insane. Thank you for the follow.
Mhm.
But I'm so excited to talk about this. I was telling Raven that I wore my Bayside T-shirt. I just went to a Bayside concert. Glowing Forever, welcome on in. And tomorrow I have a Say Anything concert.
Oh, lucky. Who are they playing with?
I Oh, who are they playing with? I'm just so excited to see them. I didn't even think about it. I don't know who their opener is. Old enough that emo means
Are they
I'm old enough.
headlining?
Headline. Let me see. Let me do a googly. Say anything. Headliner. No, it's not Bayside. I just saw Bayside. Santa's
20 years.
Me without you.
Oh, Me Without You. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that because that's tomorrow. I just saw uh, not just the Phase Fest, which had Yellow Card, Bayside, 303, um,
303 still doing things.
Boys
That's
Like
crazy.
Girls, whole bunch of stuff. It was great. It was a fun time. So yeah,
Hmm.
this is a whole bunch of music that it looks like you're into. You put brand new in Taking Back Sunday. Tell me, how did you get into emo music? What does that mean to you?
Oh God. Well, I was into emo, I guess, as the movement was coming through. I was in high school. I was like a freshman. Um, and I think the first emo, it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't really even, it's not even, I guess it is kind of, but Simple Plan was the first band that I discovered, and I don't remember how I found them. This is back when they used to have music videos were still a thing, and MTV and MTV2 and what is it, VH1, and there's a bunch of different ones that used to actually play music videos. And so I think I saw something there, and I was like, oh, I like this. Anyways, I got super into them, and that's when I was like, okay, this is kind of like a thing. I'd always been raised to be kind of like preppy-ish, straight lace haircut, kind of whatever. Um, and then and I was in high, and I was doing I was playing sports. I was doing football and baseball, whatever. And I got dumped on Valentine's Day. My first girlfriend ever. I got dumped on Valentine's Day, and I was like crying, like walked out of class. And I was in a small little private school. And there's like 20 kids. Everybody knew everybody.
Oh
Like
no.
as soon as I go back to class, and this dude is just like laughing, like at me, like walking by me, like laughing at me for crying. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we're about to fight. Like, I don't have anything left. Like, this is
Right.
fine. And this is high school. This is the end of the world. You know what I mean? You cry at me. Like, you laugh at me. Like, we're done. And anyways, so I'm ready to like fight this guy. And he's like, dude, listen, I've got some great music for you. I was like, what do you, okay, what? Yeah, it's not what I was expecting. Anyway, so we skipped one of our next classes, went out to my mom's old Crown Vic, and she had a CD changer in the trunk with 5 different discs. You could like put a bunch of them in there. And he had the Your Favorite Weapon had just come out, just released, and he showed me that in the car. And since then, we became best friends. And then I found like Bright Eyes and Hawthorne Heights, and then eventually Taking Back Sunday, and I saw them open for Brand New. I'm not no, sorry, I saw them open for Blink 182,
Oh wow.
like way back in the day, back before Blink ever broke up. So it was it was a trip. That's kind of like and after that I had like the long hair, and you're not supposed to have that in the high school. Like it was like all down in front of my face, and so like my coaches were calling me Little Nicky, like get in the flask. Um, so
That's
yeah,
great.
it was great. So the counterculture kind of like stepped in. So yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. So, have
But
you ever seen a Bright Eyes concert?
oh yeah, many times. I actually wound up at a party with Conor Oberst I was not supposed to be at.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
he was at he did a show at the Georgia Theater in Athens, Georgia. And like there's a bar at the top of like the theater, and apparently like I had went up there to get a drink before anybody else did, and they shut everything else down, so nobody could get up there. So it was just me, him, Mike Mogus, and then like this girl that I was with, and I was just like, okay, this is dope.
Yeah.
So so yeah, I couldn't get the nerve to talk to him though. He's sitting like 2 feet away from me. I was like, I don't want to go interrupt him. He's just up there smashed on Miller Lite and smoking
Mhm.
cigarettes.
Yeah, Connor Oberst is the whole reason I started writing music.
Oh yeah.
Because his lyrics are just so friggin' incredible. and
Yeah.
I knew all the ones before that, all his albums, Fevers and Mirrors, etc. But when Casadega
Mhm.
came out, that
Oh,
was like
Vegas, great.
pinnacle of when I was trying to see this guy, and like I had all these feelings and all this stuff, and Casadega came out, and I was like, this is my album.
Yeah.
Like this album is this moment.
Yeah.
Everybody,
It's a
welcome
great
on
one.
in, by the way. Atrelin Ray, Trents FX, Airgeed Blade, and Autumn P4. Welcome on in, guys. Thank you so much. Welcome to the zoo. Sit back, relax, enjoy the bamboo. Welcome on in. We are interviewing the Raven Armed on Wiki Wednesday, and we are talking about emo music. So you've been to a lot of concerts, it sounds like.
Yeah.
What,
It's one of the few things I do.
yeah?
Yeah.
Give me like top 3 emo concerts. I'll try to like whittle it down to like not just like.
Listen, I don't know. Most of them are brand new. Probably like
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. No, I mean, like, I took a road trip to Ohio to see Brand New play one time, and that's when I got to meet Jesse. And so I was like
Yes.
geeked out of my head for that one. I was dead exhausted. I was in there like no sleep, like trying to drink beer to wake up. And anyways, the concert was nuts. We waited for 2 hours in the cold to like see him. And then I got him to sign my phone case, which is an old iPhone 3 phone case. I have that downstairs. That's pretty nuts.
That's
Um,
incredible.
but I went up passing out with like a Taco Bell burrito in my hand, like like sitting up in a chair. I was just like, like I woke up holding burrito. I was like, this is not like me to not finish this. Um, so yeah, no, yeah, that was a great one. Recently, like last I'm a big fan of the Front Bottoms too. I think that they're incredible.
Mhm.
So if you don't know them, definitely check them out. But saw them at a place called the Earl in Atlanta, and it's like, um, it's just it's so tiny. These guys like play massive, like you know, stages like South by Southwest. You know, they tour with Manchester.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Uh-oh. Hold on.
Okay. Everyone, thank you so much for
Hold
coming
on.
in. I'm holding.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Okay.
I I recently I recently changed out my oh, damn it. Okay. Then my lights went out. Whatever. Okay, one thing at a time. I recently changed out my CPU cooler yesterday, and I'm learning technical things. I'm pretty good, but this is the first time unsupervised. I was like, I got this, and I heard this noise. It turns out it was just like one of the wires kind of had like gotten too close to the fan and was touching it, but I thought it might be electricity.
Oh no.
Like going, I was like, this thing is about to French fry my whole computer. So I was like, I might have to intervene with this, but no, we're okay.
Okay. It was weird. It sounded like a dog collar, and I was like, "Oh, does Raven have a dog?"
No, oh, I don't have time for a dog.
That's fair.
But, zip ties, yeah. For what I've got going on in here, I I need help. I need somebody with more Tetris experience than I have.
That's fair. We're talking about the front
Um,
bottoms, by the way.
yeah, so I saw the Front Bottoms at the Earl, and they play big, massive shows. And this is a place for like there was like 100 tickets sold. Um, and so that was really cool. That was really fun. I got to go there, and um, one of my favorite streamers. That's their favorite band. So I was able to like get them a shirt, and then I got to meet Brian Sella and have him sign it. And that was really cool. So
Wow.
yeah, like I mean, I like the intimate venues. I'm also a big fan of another artist. His name is Joshua James, and
I
very few people have heard of him.
Why do I actually know who that is? Hold on,
He's
Joshua
from,
James, folk singer.
yeah, folk singer.
What is he?
Mm.
Song of the day.
A lot of his songs, he's known for them being in Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
He plays a lot of them. Him and Noah Gunderson have very similar sounds. He's kind of like a little bit happier Bright Eyes. When I found him, I was like, oh, this is happier Bright Eyes that I could go and meet. And anyways, back when he was doing tours a lot, all over, he does them more locally now that he's got kids. But I saw him for many years in a row, and we became friends. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah,
Um,
Joshua James does sound very familiar to me, which is
mm,
I'm interested. I'm gonna go back and check. But
S tier music.
it's you said folk, and so we're moving now from the indie to the folk scene. Do you like a lot of folk singers, or it's just this is as far over as you go because of Bright Eyes?
It just depends. It depends. I'm more of a lyricist. I think that's why I like brand new.
Mm-hmm.
I like there to be depth to the content, you know. Like I like a. I'm very. I know a lot of people say they're diverse, but um, you saw my you saw my phone, my Apple Music playlist. It's just like I've got everything from like traditional Japanese like instrumentals to like German music. I've got a lot of soft French songs by like Yves Montand, and like then it goes like I've got Five Finger Death Punch, then I've got Drake, and then I've got Mozart, and I've got country music, like, and like
Yes.
I'm all over the spot, like old Southern gospel, whatever.
Yeah.
I like so so it just depends on the who's writing, and like and how in depth they're as a writer, like how in depth are they going?
Right.
Because I can see through a lot of the bull.
Yeah, when you get a lot of pop singers who have their songs either written for them and they're very empty. I don't know if you know who Bo Burnham is. But
No, Bo.
he's yeah, and when he does one of the songs about repeat stuff, he's making fun of
Uh-huh.
like boy bands who basically just repeat stuff, repeat stuff, repeat stuff, and all the girls go
Yeah.
wild because he's repeating stuff. And I think that's unfortunately a lot of music these days. But
Yeah.
I also listen to a wide variety because I think anything that moves you or anything that's, well written deserves to be looked
Yeah.
at. So I think that's great. Yeah. Uh,
So pretty diverse with that. I say I do like an emo band. I guess I call them emo. They're young. They're the young bucks, but I'm really good friends with Andrew Velasquez. He's the singer for Crown the Empire,
okay.
which they kind of took off. Um, and I
Metalcore.
grew up, yeah, a little Andy up there. Um, and love that dude. And he does jiu-jitsu now. I always bring him Chick-fil-A when he's in town, but because they don't get it out in Texas. But anyways, growing up, I used to babysit him back when he was like a little tot. He was just a little pudgy guy. And we used to it was the coolest gig ever. His mom paid great, and so we would eat pizza and watch South Park DVDs and play video games, and then she'd come home and like one time she came home drunk and she like made out with me and she was really hot. So I was like, this is like the dream. Anyways, it was great. Um, but they tour with a lot of emo bands, so they've done like Warped and stuff, and a bunch of
Okay.
things. But they played the Tabernacle in Atlanta one time, and God, what a great venue. Um, and they were playing with The Used, so I got
Oh.
to go and meet Bert and hang
Wow.
out on their tour bus and stuff. And he is a crazy person.
Yeah.
He is a crazy person. Yeah, of course. I felt like he was gonna kill me. I was like, I'm so uncomfortable right now. Mm.
The only
It's
band
'cause
that
he
I
had a pound
really
of weed
met.
in his bus,
Oh my god. The
and he
only
didn't. I guess he thought I was a narc or something.
Get out of my bus.
He's like,
Uh
"Something like the crazy eye in me." I'm like,
oh god.
okay, what do I? Should I leave? I don't know. Do you want a sandwich? Uh,
Have you been to Warp Tour? It's down in Georgia. I don't know if they pass
oh
by
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
guys. Warp Tour
They
'04 was
when they
my
were doing
very
it.
first Warp Tour. And I saw
Mm.
that's when the first time I ever saw Coheed in live. That's for the first time I ever saw Take It Back Sunday live, Yellow Card live.
Yeah.
My brother knew bands, smaller bands that worked, and so we got to go backstage. And now here I am at a not 18, but I'm going back there and I'm with the bands and I'm getting shit signed and it's a whole bunch of things. And I was like, Warp Tour is heaven. This is the greatest place ever because I could walk to it from
Right.
my house. Like it was in my backyard because there's a racetrack back there. And that's where
Oh,
that's where they
that's
hosted
cool.
it. Yeah, so I was just like, I'm just gonna go walk, no big deal. Everybody's parking and paying for parking, and I'm just like, la 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 la.
You're like, I'm right here. Well, that's great if you need to take a break because it's hot as crap out there all day.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then most of us back in the day, everybody thought they were really cool, so we were just like cheaping cigarettes all day and trying to sneak in whiskey. I'm like, you start drinking and smoking at like noon, by the time like the Devil Wears Prada's on at 7, you're like, I am a shell of a human. Because you don't drink water. Who
No,
drinks water?
there was Monster and Red Bull. Like that was your
Mhm.
options and Rockstar. Well, no,
Yeah.
not Rockstar yet. They didn't come out yet.
I
And
was in a band that was sponsored by Rockstar, actually. That was a
really?
dope time in life. Yeah. They loaded us with cases of it before our tour. Just cases and cases and cases. And we were like, this is so dope. So we're like crushing purple rock stars. I don't even drink caffeine now. It would probably literally kill me.
Oh my
But
god.
back in the day, oh my God.
That's great. Yeah, Rockstar came out in 2001, so it was out yet.
Yeah.
It was out cuz Warped
It'd
Tour
been out.
04.
But it didn't have all the flavors. And it
Right.
tasted like butt when it first dropped.
Yeah. Do you remember Sobe Adrenaline Rush by chance?
I know Sobe. I might know that one if I saw the can.
Oh man, we would go to the
Um,
mall and get them and then chug them. You know what I mean? Like
oh
as if we
yeah.
were that cool and chug energy drinks and then crash the can as if it was some sort of beer item because you're 15 and what else are you
Right.
going to do?
Yeah. And then they started making those drinks when I was in college that had like it was alcohol and energy. So it was like a metric ton of caffeine and then like an entire like 40s worth of malt like liquor alcohol in there. I think one of them was called Spark.
Yeah.
And like we would drink Sparks. I'm talking about like driving in the next like we're in the van driving to the next city for the tour and like and they're just like drinking these things, hanging out the window, just like like well, I'm normal. Like I think about that now and I'm like I would die. like
Yeah.
like I have like a little bit too much wine and I'm like, ooh, tomorrow's gonna be uncomfy. Like I might sleep in a little bit. Like back then I was like, I don't care, I'll do it. Give me another one. We're gonna go jump around and yell.
Yep. Oh my
But
gosh.
it was that was Four Loco before they changed the formula. When it was actually Four Loco, like massive, before everybody started like dying because they were staying up and drinking more.
Right. Yeah, I remember Sparks. That's so funny. And again, came out in 2002, so right around the Rockstar era. Um,
Yep.
and then I was in a band also. It was a folk band, so it was just me and my brother on guitar, and then I wrote all the lyrics. And we played at the Trocadero in Philly, and that was an experience. But we weren't sponsored by Rockstar. I mean, that's cool as hell. That's as much as I can
Yeah.
relate to you because that's amazing that you were. I mean, how long were you in the band for?
We did it for. I've been in a lot of different ones. That one was probably the most successful one. I think 3 years or so with them. I was my guitarist started sleeping with my fiance, so it was just kind of and I didn't know about it like at all.
Oh
Like we're
my
boys and
god.
stuff like that, and we've been boys for a long time. We've been Eskimo brothers, but like I was like, dude, that's so close to home, and like we're friends. You gotta give me a heads up. You can't just play me for the fool for like a year. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at least be like, hey, dude, this is happening, so I can be like, cool. Like at least I can not get serious about that.
Right.
But nah, so after that, like I mean, I squashed the beef with him, like, I was just, it's what it was. But after that, I think he was uncomfy and I was uncomfy. So I just never really got that spark back.
Yeah. Yeah, you can not everybody can pull a Fleetwood Mac, you know what I mean? When this
Yeah.
not everyone can pull it
Use
off.
your pain. Right. Lean into that shit and
Right.
write it down.
Write your pain and play it in front of your ex. Let's do this. Let's play.
Yeah. Enjoy that.
Oh man,
Mm.
Fleetwood Mac, my god. Jesse Maka and Doug Gamer, welcome on in. I'm sorry I didn't say hello to you. The chat goes pretty off kilter sometimes, and so I try my best to acknowledge chat, but I also try to stay on topic because I have hardcore ADD, and that's not me just like throwing it around. I mean, like, it's even in my tags of like, hey, by the way, we're gonna get distracted. So I'm sorry if I miss anything. That's my PSA. So okay, we had a brand new Take It Back Sunday. You had mentioned when you were younger you played sports. So tell me about baseball.
Oh, I was actually supposed to be a baseball player. That was my life thing. I was really good at it. I was really good at it. And I had so you know what ERA is?
No.
So it's like your batting average. You heard of
Yes.
that?
Yes.
So so mine was around like 454, like 0.4454. So that's like percentages, right? So like percentages that I'm up to plate, 45 roughly percent of the time I'm getting on base,
Wow.
which most people, you know, unless you're a pitcher, even professionally, it's between like 220 and like 35%. So I was very, very, very good at ball. Anyways, it got to like where I was senior year, and I had like scholarships to go and play at Young Harris, and then
Wow.
I was in talks with UGA, like to move up there. That way I could go do a year or two of that, and then go to like farm league. It was always the dream. And then I somehow like doing workouts for football and playing baseball at the same time, like I
Mm.
torqued my shoulder doing some overhead presses. I went to the doctor and they said I have an impingement in my rotocuff, which basically means like all the muscle tissue like that surrounds like the bone or whatever
Uh-huh.
is like it's gone. So like I just had like bone grinding on bone
Mhm.
um in there. Um And so, anyways, so they gave me an option for like surgery, like, hey, 50% chance, like you'll come out of here, you'll be able to go back to ball, things will be awesome. And then there's a 50% chance that you will never be able to like raise your arm above like here without pain. And I
Oh.
was like, I'm at the time, I'm like 17. I'm like, life, like I don't know, like, anyway. So working with my parents, we decided that like it was not worth the risk of me forever being in pain.
Right.
And we hoped that like maybe like medical stuff would get further along. But anyhow, so I gave up my dream of baseball, and I was really in a flux, man, because I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do.
Right.
So I ended up going to college and having no direction, thinking I was gonna be a dentist, and I suck at science. So, so I did like I changed majors like 5 times until I settled on my English degree.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I got my master's in college student personnel administration. So that's your college counselors, your academic advisors, etc. And the people that come through
Mm.
my door, the freshmen specifically, because I've taught freshman seminar, usually have no idea what they want to do and usually change majors like 4 or 5 times before the end. That's not uncommon.
Yep. I really encourage a gap year. Just I taught for a while. I did my master's in teaching, and then I did my specialist in teaching, and my PhDs in curriculum design. Um, but I encourage all of the students that I have. I mean, I'll be teaching at one of the universities around here after next year, but for a little while. But I always encourage them like take like a gap year. Like
Yeah.
don't, unless if you don't know, don't just hop in there and pay money.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have core classes, sure, but you're much better to have direction because if you can do what you need to with a technical degree or with an associate's, like it's so much better to be like to use your time getting the degree that's gonna like get you to the place that you need to be rather than trying to backtrack. Because like even now, I said I've got a year left in my dissertation. I defend next fall, and I I have no use for it. I have like none use. It's just for fun at this point in time
Right.
because I do more with streaming than I could do in 25 years of teaching.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
it's not even close. So it's like,
No pressure.
yeah, like what do you do? Life can take you anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So, okay, let's go back to baseball for like 2 seconds. You put the
Okay.
Atlanta Braves on there, so that's your team, I assume. Like the team that
Yeah,
you love.
yeah. That's the team. That's the hometown team. And there's very few teams that we have to be proud of here in Georgia. Our basketball team sucks. Our football team sucks. They got rid of our hockey team. It sucks so bad. I never even got to go see a game.
Oh no.
We've got a good soccer team because they dumped all that money into it. But and the Braves didn't used to be good. Before like the 90s, they were terrible. You could pay like $3 and get like dugout seats and go sit in there, bring your own cooler, and just watch them fart around. But no, back in the 90s, the Braves Yankees rivalry was nuts. I
Yeah.
could tell you like almost the entire lineup from memory.
Yeah, I grew up in New Jersey. So, naturally our baseball team was the Yankees. So I
Yeah.
did not follow baseball. All I remember from my youth was the Subway Series with the Mets and the Yankees, and that being a
That's because you're
very
not Mets fans. How does that happen?
Mets are just like the Jets. They're like the underdogs of football and
Right.
baseball. So people are like Jets fans, live or die Jets fans, and you're like, okay, that's fun. That's like the Bears. Like they're I don't know. People they have a really good following for the people who are absolutely diehard. But in my opinion, it's a smaller following because it's not like they're the Chiefs.
Yeah. What part of Jersey
Uh
did you grow up in?
Dead center. So basically it was hour and a half drive to New York and an hour and a half drive to Philadelphia.
I spent some time in Trenton and Newark and in Princeton.
Okay.
Uh,
Very close to
uh,
Princeton.
okay. Yeah, I spent a good amount of time in Princeton. I had a buddy of mine that he was doing his master's there, and so I'd come up there and we'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
uh,
Jersey's the place for it. Do you ever go down to the shore?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's exactly like television. I went to a bar down there and I was like, holy God. If everyone does not have the same exact blowout, everyone has just put baby oil on their tan and their muscles. I was like, these people are about to have sex in the middle of the floor. Sure. Like, there's no way this is not like you would get arrested if you weren't in this room. And I like to party. So for me, somebody that likes to I like to party. I didn't realize how much I didn't, like my level of partying is different, like I like to party reasonably. I've had some crazy moments, like Van Wilder moments, and this was like, I was like, all of you are pregnant, and half of you got diseases, and the other half of you probably smell like them. It's just terrible.
I'm dying because you're so right. Like, you're spot on. We would go down to the shore, and I just like the boardwalk. I'm not a big fan of the beach. I
Mm,
just don't like the way the sand feels in my feet. Like, I've been to Aruba, and that sand's
mm.
okay, and Florida, because the sand's finer, but New Jersey is much rougher sand, and the water is grosser. So I
It's
just like,
sandpaper.
yeah, so I just like the boardwalk. But there are bars
Cat tongues.
along the boardwalk, Bar A and all that other stuff. And you're not wrong. It's basically Snooki everywhere. And I'm sticking out with
Yeah.
red hair and, 6 foot. And these short little Italians are coming past me. And I'm like, I'm Italian too. You just can't tell. Like, I'm one of you, but I don't know if I want to be right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nuts, man. It was crazy time. And the thing is, like, everybody's got to out loud talk everybody. Like, so the volume just gets so unbearable. I'm like, I can't hear all of you yelling. But if they're not trying to F, they're trying to fight.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, cool. I was like, I'm gonna get wrapped up in a fight just because I am super pale. So I need to get out of here. Like, yeah, I can't drink enough for this to feel enjoyable right now. Let's go anywhere else.
Are there more types of sand or more types of pizza? Listen, Giselle, we are not bringing up pizza right now.
Pizza.
Where's the best pizza you've ever had?
Me?
Yes.
New York.
Thank you. All right. Good stream, everybody. Thank you so much, TheRavenArmed. It's the best
I love
pizza.
Chicago pizza, but I'll never find the place that I got the pizza. I went back to New York to find that one pizza, and it's just like, I don't know if you've seen How I Met Your Mother, where they try to find the perfect burger, but there's an episode where they try to find the perfect burger, and there's a billion pizza places. I walked up and down Manhattan, like every block twice, and literally could not find this place. There was a little hole in wall pizza place, and I got like a white pizza, the margarita pizza. And I walked straight into Central Park and just sat down and ate this pizza by myself. And I felt like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. I was like, this is the height of luxury. I have my own pizza, and nobody is messing with me in New York.
I love
Like,
this.
just a pigeon lady to come out and be my friend, and then we're done.
Amazing. And it was
Yeah.
it was the best pizza.
Oh, it's the best. I can't describe it. There's nothing. And I think it might have been also because like I'm so used to Georgia pizza where it's like Tostinos or Chuck E. Cheese. So we're like, our bar is not really set high. You know, it's
Right.
kind of like, oh, that's kind of bread. here's some old mold, like throw it on there. You know, like, and then there's some ketchup. Oh yeah, pizza, you know. And as a kid, you're like, yeah, give me that and Surge. I'll stay up all night. I don't care. Getting boys.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Plugging
no.
in 64, like shit. Ugh.
There was a pizzeria literally like next to my house, and so we'd order pizza every Friday. And when I got tired of pizza, which is actually possible, I would get chicken tenders.
Blasphemy. Put them
Yeah.
on your pizza.
Yeah, they had every type. And my favorite pizza, my favorite topping, is meatballs, and I like the meatballs sliced like pepperoni. And when you have it like that, it's delicioso. Redneck Dad, thank you so much for the follow. Whedon Son, thank you so much for the follow. All right, so we went from Atlanta Braves to pizza. You can see now why ADHD is in the title, because here we go down the rabbit hole. Okay, so we're talking more about sports. We'll go into jiu-jitsu. Tell me why that made your list.
Jiu-jitsu kind of saved my life. I mean, martial arts in general. You know, I've done mixed martial arts for over a decade now. That's what I was actually doing today. Luckily enough, the guy that I work with, that I'm business partners with in real estate, like, we have very similar training mindsets, you know, and he's got black belts in different styles that I don't, so I learn so much from him every time. But I had lost my grandfather like a long time ago. I lost him. And I had started taking Xanax to, like, you know, chill out, like, calm down. Everybody's like, this is cool, you know? And anyways, and so it got to be a problem. And so when I came off it, you know, I recognized like it was a problem. I was like, I'm gonna have a big issue in 3 years if I keep doing this. So I stopped, and I mean, the come down from that was just like nightmare fuel. I'm somebody that's prone to anxiety anyway, so like I was like crazy person, you know. And then yeah, so I went out on the mat for the first time. A friend of mine had invited me, first time for martial arts, you know, and I'd always want to do it when I was little, and it was jujitsu, and so I was like really like foreign to the concept of like somebody like fighting people on the ground, you know what I mean? But yeah, but it's a passion of mine. And once I stepped out there, it was like mind, body, soul. Like it has helped a lot. And martial arts does that for me. It kind of recenters and refocuses me, and it'll humble you. You know, like
Yeah.
no matter how bad your day is, like as soon as you get hit in the face, you're like, ah. Okay, none of that really matters. None of that really matters right now. You can't really focus on like, oh, did I leave the hose on? Oh no, that bill is a little late. That doesn't mean anything right now. It literally means nothing. You know, like you got to focus on what's in front of you, and there's very few things that can like demand your attention like that. You know, so but yeah, but I'm internationally ranked in jiu-jitsu, and I teach a lot of different styles, and I'm training new styles, you know, all the time too, you know. I'm doing a little bit of Tang Sudo now because my kicking game is not something that I've always focused on. So, but yeah, if I can highly encourage somebody, if you know, even if you got a bad back, you know, like jujitsu is like, um, is a very viable self defense, especially if it's like solo, um, or like one on one.
Right.
Yeah,
That's crazy. And then, I mean, you
yeah.
are the jack of all trades, really, and pun intended. Uh,
Mm, mm. Well done.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, you are, and I think that's fantastic that you have this balance and that you have all these experiences that have built you up to like you're an awesome human. So like you really have this excellent backbone to you and a lot of really good. I'm excited to hear more. Is my point. Um,
Cool.
so mixed martial arts. Anything you said jujitsu? What was the other one that you said
Uh,
you were teaching?
Oh, teaching. So I teach a system called Kamabushi Kai, which is like it's called the Divine Warrior System. It's a mixture of like Shotokan karate, Japanese jiu-jitsu, but I kind of put my own spin on it too because we do a little bit of like uh, Filipino dirty boxing, Kyusho. We do a little Hapkido in there, judo, and then there's elements of Muay Thai and we use this English system. These guys, it's called Defense Labs, and they're really great for multiple attackers and like um, using defense as a weapon. There's another version of that called Keezy fighting style, but it's just not. It's not. It's not the same. But the one I'm messing with right now is called Tang Sudo, and it's kind of like
Tang Sudo.
more self-defense oriented taekwondo where you're actually using your hands and not just like hopping around and kicking for points.
There we go. Tang Sudo. I spelled it completely wrong, and Wikipedia's like, "We got you." Uh,
Yeah, I spell it wrong all the time, man.
um, 1944. So it's relatively new, yeah, in like the world of jujitsu.
Oh, this is not jujitsu. This is totally different. This is a standing martial art.
Standing martial art. My apologies.
Yeah, two different things. Yeah,
Um, but
you
19.
kind of like so you learn different elements of like these things. You know, like you progress in one, and it kind of helps your game. You know, like so this is helping me like do distance fighting with my legs. You know,
Oh,
because I do really good on grappling. I do really good like with punching and trapping. But this stuff when it's at a distance like that, I've not been much of a kicker, so this is like I'm gonna get out of my comfy zone and
yeah.
get better at that. But yeah, it's like Korean, so that's Taekwondo and Tang Sudo are like in the same kind of like familial line of the Americanized version of martial arts.
Very cool. Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And yeah, when it comes to strength, all my strength is actually in my legs, not my arms.
There you go.
My arms are squiggly. They're nothing. But my legs have a lot of power, except I don't know how to use it. Like I
Hmm.
know that I could probably strangle somebody with my legs. Like I'm pretty sure I probably could. But
You
like
know, that's what you do in jujitsu.
that's
You
awesome.
get somebody in an omoplata with those legs, like just choke them out with your knee.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I say
love
knee,
it.
shin bone, but
I love it. Um Okay, so I'm trying not to go in order, but you have it in such a beautiful order. Uh, we talked about that. So, how does that change into working out? Do you have like a method that you do for like
for working out.
just working out? Like, do you have a set schedule and all that stuff? Do you go to the gym or you do home stuff?
I did. I did. It's been more sporadic with work um and with everything. So I used to be really on it before I had back surgery. But I had a discectomy that threw me off my game entirely. I yes, I have a pattern. It used to be more intense. I used to like run 10Ks every day
Wow.
and then I would do like an hour workout, then I'd do 3 hours of martial arts, and then like I was just it was nuts. I was a crazy person. I was like all I did was fitness. You
Yeah.
know, like I was like just fitness, 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 fitness. And as a teacher, especially like in summer, I was like all I'm doing is training my body all day long. Um, but now it's kind of more sporadic with all the business ventures that I have going on. So yeah, I mean, like I like to do a bit of cardio every day. I usually do like 20 minutes of cardio, like as a kind of like a warm up, and then I'll do like a workout circuit. But I'm not carrying a logbook anymore. Like before I was like carrying a logbook like every single workout thing, and I'm just trying to like stay active as much as I can, and
Right.
do what I can. So and I've got to be careful with the back too. So like if something feels like too much, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like chill out on that. I don't want to like ground and pound my like spinal cord by just like running 5Ks every day because I I don't know what kind of dangers could come, so I try to like be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. The tank hunter, thank you for the 100 bits. Sorry I didn't say that earlier. We were in depth talking. So, yeah, I think that Infozar had a running streak. I don't know if you know this. But he had a running streak every single day since the pandemic.
Mm.
Literally every day. I think it was 5K, minimum
Hmm.
1K, maximum 5K. And I looked at that and I was like, I don't know how. But now that I'm doing more physical therapy, because I can't sweat, like physically, I have a disease. I cannot sweat. So for me, physical therapy is starting to get me like, how do I get moving safely without overexerting my body to a point that's painful or, that sort of
Hmm.
stuff. So, yeah, over 4 years, and it died with COVID, minimum 1 mile every day. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, he literally got COVID and it ended, but he started during the COVID
Mm.
era. So, yeah, I am excited to learn more about working out. I'm scared, but I'm excited to learn more about working out and stuff. I eating better, etc. Uh, what you have to do, try to change your life, try to make it better. Um, so on the other side of the thing, now let's talk about rum.
Oh yeah, I had to put that in there, right?
Yeah, segues are hard, so we'll talk about rum.
Talk about rum. Where's rum going? Yeah, I don't know. I put rum on there because if I ever have a drink, it's rum. Ironically,
Yeah.
not like even trying to like be cool or be in character. It's just like that's what I like, man. Like I don't know. Like I used to be a whiskey person for a long time, but then I don't know. It didn't. Different drinks make you feel different ways. Like wine will make me heavy and sleepy. Beer makes me just feel like bloated, and then yeah, I don't know. Rum was always just kind of like treated me well.
My drinko choice is actually tequila.
Oh God, I cannot drink tequila.
That's usually the response when I tell
Oh, I
people that
can't do it.
tequila. People are like, "I dance on tables," or "I punched a guy," or
I would end up naked outside of a dormitory. It was
exactly,
great. I'm screaming
exactly.
Tupac lyrics in a Crystal's parking lot at 3 in the morning. Like things that really happened, but we're not talking about.
Right, right. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's powerful. It's
Info,
powerful.
info's our punch to table,
Punch the table. Listen, tables, tables are pretty sturdy right there.
and they
They
deserve. It
have a
probably
big-
deserved it.
yeah, that table's pain threshold is a lot higher than mine.
Was I drunk or was I a child?
Oh yeah, I made up some impromptu game on stream one time called "Was I Drunk or When Was I a Child?" And I was telling stories. People like to decipher like, did I do this drunk or did I did it as a child? And then they got to vote on it. That was
That's
pretty fun.
amazing. That's a good game. It's a good game
Yeah.
right there. So do you do like rumming? Well, you don't do caffeine. So do you like rum and Diet Coke, or I don't know what doesn't have caffeine. I don't drink
Just
soda.
cold in a glass.
Cold in a glass, nice. And dark rum,
Cold in a glass. Dark rum.
dark
Yep.
rum,
Dark rum only.
spiced.
Spiced rum.
All right.
Yep. Vanilla spiced.
Oh yeah, that's the good
Sailor
stuff.
Sailor Jerry is the one that I stick with. It's not even expensive. It's cheap, but like it's great. It just makes me think of the beach every time
Oh
because
yeah.
it's just like spicy and vanilla and it's warm and like ah.
Yeah, that
That,
was the only rum that I could have was the vanilla spiced rum. Because the regular spiced
mm,
rum just didn't work with me. I'm not really a spiced person, but the vanilla spiced, I was like, I can do this. This is good. All right, so let's I don't want to go into that quite yet. So let's go into you were talking about being a teacher and you were a former teacher. So let's start there and then we'll go into poetry. So let's
okay.
start on education and then we'll go over to poetry. So tell me when you said you went through multiple college sides and then you ended on English degree. Why did you believe why did you believe? How did you feel about that being your thing? Oh, okay. It went away, I guess. Do 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 do. Calling, calling, calling back.
I hit a button.
Okay,
I hit a button.
we got
It
you.
happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you hear what I said though?
No.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. Because I said it all wonky and then I took it back. So
Well, perfect. So
perfect
hey,
timing.
that timing worked out great.
You talked about education as being something that you ended up on because you have an English degree after going through multiple different ideas of what you wanted to do, like dentistry.
Hmm.
So, which I find fantastic, by the way. So
Hmm.
tell me about why education. You said you used to be a teacher. Like, what you get into much detail as you want to get into as far as like what years you were teaching, what you were teaching, what were you fond of in those memories for teaching, etc.
Mm. Um. Well, I kind of just wound up teaching as a so I was gonna go to I was in a job I hated because I graduated with an English degree and there was nothing you could use it for. I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna write books and everything's gonna be great, and then it's a lot harder than it sounds. So I was like, I can go with an English degree, I can go back to law school, or I can get my teaching cert. And law school was 4 years, teaching was 2 years, and I hated my job so much that I was like, I got to get out of this right now. So I did that, and I got English ed. I got my thing in English ed. So yeah, I did that, and then I went to a local school, and it's ranked the least. If you know what a CCRPI is,
A low
as a
income one.
counselor. Yeah, it's Title One for sure.
Yeah.
But the CTRPI, which is like the ranking of the schools, is the lowest in Georgia,
Okay.
and then it was the lowest in third lowest in the U.S. So it was basically a school where teachers go to die. But anyways, I started there, and I taught English the whole time, but they started me with freshmen, and it was a real challenge. It got better. I did it for like 5 or 6 years at that school, and no longer than that. I did it for like 7 years there, and I spent another year at a different school later. And then anyways, I switched districts. Um, 3 years ago now, and then went out to a new place, and I was like, oh my god, this is different. Like the kids are listening; they're not swearing at me the whole time, and I'm not getting knocks on my door to come break up fights every 5 minutes. So it was wild. But I never taught seniors. I only taught ninth, 10th, and 11th graders. But it was fun. It was an interesting time for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So what curriculum were you like? When you have To Kill a Mockingbird and all those other types of books and things to learn, what was your favorite thing to teach as an English teacher, like book wise or education wise?
I mean, for me, it's typically Poe. I like teaching him. I like getting people into that like archaic language and like showing them how to barrier between it. Plus, the short stories are just the greatest short horror stories um, outside of the Lovecraftian field that I've known. So I love that piece. But as far as like a book, Tolkien. I taught Tolkien. I had one of the coolest experiences taking freshmen, teaching the freshmen The Hobbit. And then, of course, these kids didn't know about the books. They don't know about the movies. They were born after all that. So like not a relevant thing for them anymore. Um, and so I got to take this group of freshmen and take them through The Hobbit. And then they wound up moving me from ninth grade to 10th grade that next year. So I moved up with them. So I got to like Mr. Feeney them,
Yes.
and teach those same kids in that same class, the fellowship.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
was like, oh, superpower unlocked. So, anyways, yeah, that was a pretty memorable time for sure.
Yeah. So what do you okay, so now we're talking specifically about Tolkien, which is on your list. What do you
Right.
enjoy so much about it that made you want to, what makes it tickle your fancy?
Probably because he was a linguist, and I'm a big fan of language and learning languages, and I think that's why I have like a lot of affinity towards um certain musical artists that I do, and I like that he created the languages before he created the world. So to me that showed depth of character in the creator, and so I was able to attach to them because the tropes are pretty obvious, but the layering of like the creation of an entire world is
Yeah.
pretty intense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's absolutely true. Um I never got too much into these books just because of my reading difficulties. But I have mad respect for somebody who created an entire language and world. Um, that's just cool as hell. that
Right.
that's just cool as hell. Um, and so is fantasy your genre a choice?
Psychological horror.
Ooh, okay. So what's a besides Poe? Like we'll get into that in a second. Like what? Give me a book or an author or something. You're talking like
House of Leaves.
okay.
It's the only book. It's the first book that I ever read that was like more than a book. It was like an adventure. Like it was an encounter, an experience. If I've ever felt a book come alive, it was that one. Like I was like reading it and I was like, oh my God, this is like in my head right now. It's
Let's
crazy.
see. Multi perspectivity is a footnote. His chronicles to describe the manuscript, which itself reveals the Navidson records supposed narrative through transcriptions and analysis depicting a story of a family who discovers a larger on the inside labyrinth in their house. Very cool.
And it's like a story within a story, and it's just horrifying. Scroll down, see if you can find some pictures of the actual text because it's not traditional.
Okay. And
I got to meet the author too.
let me do a Google.
Go to Google and just type it in. Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Images. This, this, this.
You can kind of see, like, yeah,
Oh yeah, back here, over here. Oh, you can't see it. This, and then we're gonna
yeah,
do this. So we're talking about this over here. It's the left.
yeah. I mean, that's like one example. They're all over the place like that. The words on the page like mimic like where you're supposed to be hearing sounds on some things. There's one page that's just music notes, so I played it on piano while I was reading it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this other one is completely upside down over here. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's fun. That's a fun
It's an
book.
adventure.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of thing, I highly that's one of my top all time reads.
I will I will look into that. I'll see it's again, it's hard for me to read, but I will look into this one cuz that sounds fun. And I really like when it's interesting. When text gets
Yeah.
interesting or there's something else going on, it helps me actually follow it better. There was an entire book. This is like teen book that was written in text messages, little bubbles that went back and forth, and that was easier for me to read because I was so used to reading text messages that I was able to get the story and what was going on based on these bubbles. And that's what I was like, oh wow, I can read. Okay. Like
Yeah.
it's possible. Okay. Um okay, so let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Edgar Allan Poe. So
No, I guess I did touch him.
say again.
I said I guess we did touch on him.
Yeah, yeah. So you is it because of your name, the Raven Armed? Is that why? Because of Poe, or is it a different reason?
No, that's why.
That's why. Yeah.
It's because well, like my first tattoo, like was like well, not my first tattoo, but my first like
I'll zoom in. Hold on.
longer tattoo was like um a literary one. So like I had the Raven for Poe,
Wow.
and then I had like Chaucer's Quill and Baudelaire's Inkwell.
Wow.
So like I was like super into it. I was like, I'm going crazy. So I made it my Xbox gamer tag because Raven was obviously taken,
Right. Right.
you know.
Those bastards.
Um so I was like, oh, the Raven is taken. Shoot. So I was like, well, it's on my arm, so the Raven Armed. And
Nice.
everybody calls me Armed.
Arm.
That doesn't know me. People that know me know. But I've hopped into some streams and they've been like, oh, what's going on, Armed? I'm like,
Yeah.
like, not much, F Red. It's good to see you.
Right. Yep. I love when there's interesting Twitch names that have really good backstories. I used to have a Twitch name called Tehi Teji, which is actually the story of a witch that goes to this island and creates the spells around the guys so that the guys are only interested in her. And
Mm.
the women go around and they're like they're they're like, what's happening to all the men? And so one day, like a like Pied Piper kind of thing, she has all these men like under a spell follow her over to this waterfall, and they all gather around, and then she drops them, and they drop into the waterfall and die, and now there's no men on the island, and everybody starves because none of the men are able to do anything. And she turns into a bat and she flies her ass
Oh,
away. And I was like, that's the coolest story ever.
that's a trip right there.
Yeah, because I was looking about bat lore, because I was curious, because I do something called Dagger here, and so I wanted like lore. So yeah. So cool. The Raven Armed. Now we know. I mean, we always knew, but
You know.
some of us didn't know. So now we know. Uh, World War II. Tell me about why that interests
World War
you.
Two.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start with World War Two?
You know, so once upon a time in real life, yeah,
What's happened in real life?
yeah. What
Well, one happened because we had to go through there to start that. Um, no, I don't know, man. It's an interesting time. I think part of it has to do with my period, like love for like the period pieces. You know what I mean? Like it's not like this Bioshock, Fallout. It's like pre-nuclear, nuclear. Uh, what do they call it? It's something like retrofuturism. I'm
Okay.
a big fan of that, where like um the style at the time. So, anyways, like just like I don't know, like I'm a big fan of like the some of the way things were done back in the day, and some like the dress that they had, and some of like the customs. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
some things just looked. Like this is before like a lot of the industrializations and like the factory farming and stuff took over. You know what I mean? So like food is better. Like things are just if you get an object, it's like crafted. It's not
Right.
mass produced.
Right.
Um, but I think something about the war is like it's such a pivotal transition piece, and it could have gone so many different ways
Mhm.
that like I, as someone that studies martial arts, like like I would love to like know more about like Far Eastern cultures and their conflicts, but this is one that hits close to home.
Right.
Um, enough to where I'm like I can picture it. You know what I mean? And like so how does someone almost rule the world?
Mm.
And how close are you to like that happening again? Like and what does that look like? You know, I don't know. It's really curious to see. And then the fact that like, the nuclear age came out of that, which basically put like this chess style stalemate on everyone,
Yeah.
where it's like, well, we can only fight so hard because if we fight as hard as we can, we'll blow the entire world up.
Mhm.
Like, and that's a terrifying thought, like anyways. So there's just a lot. There's a lot of like I like mysteries and secrets too. So there's like some Indiana Jones style stuff with that period, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, one of
But
my favorite
yeah.
things to see when you were talking about the futurism, the retro futurism, or however you said it.
Yeah.
When they show the pictures of the ladies in their dresses or whatever, and they're introducing a product, and the product that I saw that was so cool, that was really real, were refrigerator cabinets. So they do the thing like the Vanna White or whatever, but the cabinets
Uh-huh.
are the refrigerators. And
Oh, that's dope.
instead of having to bend down, they're right there in front of you. Why didn't we keep that? That's the sort of shit that I love. Like
That would be cool.
that in
I
the
had pizza pockets in one of them. Like
yeah.
all my cereals could be cold. Like, oh, Cocoa Krispies pre-chilled. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So that sort of stuff, or when they have certain like robots or vacuums or just like weird things that are created and inspired and all of that stuff. And you're right, we kind of lost that. We kind of got into like mass multiplying objects, and it's lost its
Yeah.
craftsmanship.
Yeah. And it's also like, I mean, and then the finished product is not nearly as good at the expense of the health and the integrity of someone else. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you look at like, I could get off into this all day, but like just how like just in our food, like in America, like most people won't even allow our food to be imported into their country. Like that says something like dramatic. If it is illegal to sell
Wow.
the food that we eat every day in
Yeah.
your country, I mean that's 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 freaky, you know, like to think that it's that bad. But I mean, I could tell a difference just from like the 90s to now. Like 90s Taco Bell is not 90s, it's not now.
Nope.
It is hot garbage compared to what it was. Pizza Hut, same thing. Like almost everything is like they sacrifice quality for making more money,
Yep.
you know. Um, but yeah, I do have to run to the restroom real quick.
Yeah, go
So
ahead, do your thing.
okay,
I'm gonna
be right
talk to
back.
chat. Don't worry about it. Okay, so chat. Thank you again for everyone being here at this time. I love it. The I'm sorry if I've missed some conversations. But you guys are great. I love all the support that you're giving Raven and even myself. That's really freaking cool. And for those of you who are new here, Wiki Wednesday is basically where we interview the streamer. We go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole, learning things about the topics that they've pre-given us. And so right now I'm going through Raven's topics. We're going to talk about a fun one here in a minute. For those of you who are into Raven streams often, this will be a fun one for you. Other than that, yeah, feel free to talk in the chat. And we'll see if we can get to it. If you need to ask a question, just go ahead and highlight your message if I have that opportunity to do so. But try not to make it too personal because I don't want Raven to feel uncomfortable by asking a too personal question. So hopefully that works. But again, thank you everyone who's been talking and lurking and all of that stuff. I really appreciate it. This point is where I'm supposed to sing the potty song, right? Or I'm supposed to say like I don't know. I don't know the song. Do you guys know the song where it's the potty song? You basically they talk to you while you're going to the bathroom, because that to me is nightmare fuel. That to me, what's your full legal name, mother's maiden name, and last 4 digits of your social security number. You shouldn't ask somebody the last
John
four of their
Jacob
number.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah, you shouldn't ask somebody
This
their
is Schmidt
social security number.
8763.
There you go. Ask for the whole number next time, Infozar. You got to learn these
That's
things.
for the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was your shot.
Yep, you lost it.
You could get all $30. Like all of it could be yours. If you're gonna go hard.
Yeah.
Dream big.
Oh, right. Mentalism. You know the rest of the number. Of course. So
You knew before I said it.
there was a card game. Of course, I can't think of right now, but it goes into all of the aspects from World War One, World War Two, and Vietnam. Right, so it has all three of those, and it's a card game. And what happens is, you have to, if you change one thing on the cards that are laid out in front of you randomly, it affects something else somewhere else. And so it could be like, okay, you changed this one thing and now, Hitler has taken over the US. And now what does that mean for Martin Luther King? And like it's really cool, and it shows like the connections of everything that's going on. And I can't think of it, so it's kind of irrelevant, but I thought about it and I figured I'd say something. Okay. Anyway. The olives.
Olives.
Tell me about your disdain for olives.
Hate them. Satan's grapes.
Satan's grapes. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they are. I like olive oil. I
Okay.
think it's fine, and not just like the Popeye character. But no, the actual olive oil is fine. And I don't know if it's just a texture thing, but they're overwhelming. And I don't care if they're green. I don't care if they're black. They are the most overpowering presence, and it's so pungent. It's like trash. It's like I found a grape in the trash can after a nuclear fallout, and I decided to dig that sumbitch out of there and try to eat it 100 years later, and it had hardened, and that's what it now tasted like. It's like
Oh my
trash food. Like I wouldn't feed it to raccoons that I hated. Um, and I mean, I've tried a lot of different things. You know what I mean? I would probably eat full-on octopus suckers before I eat another olive. It's that bad. I once went to Subway and ordered a sandwich, a foot-long sandwich back when they were $5.
Right.
And I did not order olives on there, but they had messed up somehow, and in their process of making my sandwich, which I had not requested olives for, they must have dropped an olive on this sandwich. And my reaction, as any normal person would be, like, is not to just pick the olive off, but it's to take the whole sandwich overhead and throw the whole thing in the trash can and walk away in disgust and try to use Listerine to get the taste out of your mouth, because it's pungent. It's like a Listerine strip that makes you taste like cat bud. Like, it's not good, like it's that kind of potency where like it's on my tongue forever.
Oh my god.
It's like if I got like paint in my eyes, like it's not going away quick.
I mean, you're not wrong. I do like the taste, but I get what you're saying. Like that, I like them because of the pungent taste. It's like a acquired taste, I guess. But no, they take over everything. If you were to put an olive on a sandwich, you would taste it 100%. It's kind of like a pickle, right? You put a pickle on a
I
sandwich,
do
you
love
take
pickle.
you take the pickle off the sandwich, you still taste the pickle that was on the sandwich. But I love pickles too. I just had pickle fries today from Sonic, and if you love pickles, I highly suggest a pickle fry once, like on a cheat day, or if you like ever want a fried food. Pickle fries from Sonic, chef's kiss.
Pickles fries from Sonic. Sounds good.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so good.
I've heard that people do these like cheese pickle things. I don't know. I saw that was a thing on the internet for a little while. People like take a piece of cheese or whatever and they like cook it onto a pickle. And I know it looked really good, but I try not to. That kind of stuff gives me like heartburn, and now I'm
Yeah.
like old and I got to deal with that, like.
Giselle, no, olives do not belong on pizza.
No, I will dump a sopping wet can of pineapple on a pizza before I consider dropping one olive on there.
That's fair. That's a fair statement. Yeah, I can't do olives on pizza because you're right. They just take
Gross.
over the entire slice, and then why would you do that
It's
to a
all you
pizza?
taste.
Yeah.
You can't taste anything. If you put olives on something, it's all you can taste is olives. I don't know how you could decide for anything else. If you put it on a sandwich, how do you taste anything but the olive? It might as well just be an all olive sandwich. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I
It's
get
so
it.
overpowering. But
Uh,
anyways, I'm passionate about that one.
I noticed. I really loved all of your explanations of it. That's
Are we
really
all through are we through all the things that I like already? Oh
no,
crap.
no, we're not. I go
Just
up and
bouncing
down.
around.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
So
like, oh, here we go. Now I get to complain. We should brace everybody. I'm gonna yell about stuff that
well,
doesn't matter for a little while.
so don't look at the screen then. So let's talk about spiders.
Oh God, you trigger warning everybody. I would not look at it.
Don't look at the screen.
Uh, I can't. Oh,
I'll scroll. Here. There's nothing on the screen now. Nothing on the screen.
uh, there's a delay.
Oh God.
There's a delay.
Okay, there's nothing there.
Okay. So when hell became a thing, the ambassadors of hell were given 8 legs and tiny little spears for mouths, and they were sent to every corner of the earth and every corner of your house that you shouldn't go into. And we encounter these sometimes in our day-to-day journey. And when you do, they're meant to remind us that nightmares exist. and as we remember nightmares exist, we remember fear and desparency and we Eeyore being outside. All the horrible things in life come about when we think of these creatures that serve no better purpose. Listen, evolution's done. We don't have to evolve it. We have effing flycatchers. I have 1,200 volts I can plug in that will attract 10,000 more flies than that spider can catch in a month. Like, easily. We don't need you anymore. We've evolved beyond you. So we can safely get rid of them. I mean, right? Yeah, like, I think just I'll get everyone a bug zapper for Christmas, and we just say enough with spiders. Can we fumigate the world quickly? But yes, I don't like the concept. One, they freak me out because their movement speed is just ridiculous, and their legs and it's all of it freaks me out. But I think it's more like deep seated. Like, my mom got bit by a spider when I was little, and she had like an allergic reaction to it, and like had to go to the hospital. And so I was like, "Spiders kill people. You try to kill my mom. Well, I'm gonna effing kill you, every one of you, for the rest of my life. You are the enemy number one." So yeah, not a big fan of the demons incarnate right there. There should be flamethrowers,
Yeah.
and we should be teaching our kids to use them.
What is that video game? Did you ever play that one where there's a bunch of spiders and it's you have a flamethrower and your goal is to kill all the spiders with the flamethrower?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a long story and make it very short.
Okay.
Long story short, yes, I did it. I did it in VR. I did it on a bet. I had lost a bet, and one of my mods said, "I'll compromise if you do this. I'll hold a cat." And this guy, so I played the game, freaked out,
God.
terrified, and this guy held a cat. So, but he didn't hold a cat. He held a picture. He held like a plushy cat. And I said, that's ridiculous. You're a crazy person. That's not what we talked about. He's holding a plushie. He's like, ha, ha, ha. I was like, you think that's funny? I'm going to turn your ass into a mouse pad. So I did. And then I made him into a poster holding this cat with the most ridiculous phrase on it that means nothing. Not all dreams do, never stopping. And so now he was a permanent part of that. And then he came to my house and he was forced to hold my real cat live. So I held the picture of him holding that stupid plush cat next to him holding my real cat. And now that is in the merch store too. So that is like, so you can get that now.
That's amazing.
It's got a ridiculous name. It's a really, really long name. Like Slapshot Fun Sickle Extreme Ride Extravaganza. Well, anyways, that's what you get. That's what you get.
I love it. That's amazing. I was waiting for you to be like, yeah, and I unmodded him, but no, you went further. You went so much further.
No, that's how I do it.
I love it. Yeah, so I don't
mess around, they get put on a piece of merch and I start giving it away.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. So Gavlos the Green is my husband, my mod. He won the sandals. So I have the sandals in the mail right now.
Heck yeah. Of Ray. Yes. You got Ray's face. Yeah, Ray was trolling me with some nonsense. I don't even know what it was, but I was like, that's fine. We can put your face on sandals.
Yep. And so now I have the sandals. So I was hoping that I'd have them today to show them on camera to bring it full circle, but they didn't come today. They're out there though. I think they'll be here by Saturday. And Pom Pom, thank you so much for the follow. And Davey, welcome on in. Sorry I missed you. Okay, yeah, and everybody go follow Davey. He always shouts me out because he also does a talk show, and he's a fantastic human being. That's my PSA. Or I keep saying PSA. That's not what I want to say. That's my TDLR. I don't know. Anyway, so we've got over spiders. We're not going to talk about them anymore. But that was a fantastic rant that went into a really cool poster, though.
50,000 species.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily,
Why?
but I have a
What do you
cat
need
that
that for?
I have 3 cats that eat spiders, so there aren't very many spiders in my house. Unless they're on my fan above my head, in which case that is Galvos's job to get it because that's nightmare fuel. Right there. That's nightmare fuel. Okay. We don't look at I don't know how to do this. Here. Okay. We're going to talk about no, no, no. I just need a computer. Thank you. So tell me about your PC building.
Oh yeah, well, obviously, yeah, we always experienced some of that firsthand tonight.
Yep.
But thank God that sound wasn't what I thought it was. Yeah, no, no, no. I've a buddy of mine gave me a computer. I mean, the computers that I was used to, I didn't even know you could build them before I started streaming. Um, um, I got gifted a PC because I'd always thought like, oh, it's like Gateway, the cow company, like
Yeah.
yeah, that's how you
Gateway.
get a computer, like, that's how you get a computer, and you just turn it on and it goes awesome. The more money you pay, the better. Um, uh, yeah. So, anyways, my buddy gave me his computer, and it was like, I think it was old. He gave it to me 4 years ago, and it was 10 years old, outdated at that time. So, yeah, it was like his first PC. It was nuts. I used it and I tried to stream with it. I just tried to play games. I could play WoW kind of on it. It was laggy. But then I tried to like open up OBS at the same time, and the whole thing went and just shut down. And I was like, okay,
Oh
so this is
boy.
not going to work. I'm not going to be able to stream. So, anyways, I went to a place called Micro Center, which is like a
Mhm. That's where I got
place where
my
you can,
computer.
yeah, it's adult Disney. It's
It
just,
is.
it's dangerous. And there's always new stuff. Like there's a new case I want. There's a new Lee and Lee case that's all glass. And I'm just like, I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. But I did that and wound up spending $1,100 on a credit card that I did not have.
Mhm.
And once I got that, I worked my buddy, he'd built them before. Me and him spent like a long time and put the pieces together. And so I was like, I was learning about the components. I was like, oh, this is cool to kind of like see how it works, and you can customize all different things about it. And it was neat. It was neat to kind of, I don't know, like take something that's parts and put it together and make it turn on and bring you internet. And I was like, how sick is that? So yeah, I did that, and then I built the second PC. I've had a buddy that's helped me with a lot of this. And he's got 2 kids now, so like he was my first mod, but he's like, he
Yeah.
it's the time is not there. But I built a second PC basically. Um, and this is my third version of the PC, and I'm hoping that this will last me for a few years now. But I just upgraded um, the liquid cooler in here, so that was why I was hoping that this is like I didn't ask for any advice, any instructions. I was like, I'm just gonna get in there and just do this thing, and so I just did it, and it turned on, and everything was great. So I was very very happy. Um, and that noise was not electricity. I was like, if it's sparking, that means that I failed. If I burn this thing out that fast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I think that's awesome. I think that it's an art like to have these crazy PCs like blah blah blah. Let's see. Is there any pictures? No, 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 no. No, no, no. like how first of all, how far computers have gone. Let's start there.
Oh yeah.
I remember the gateway computers. As soon as you say gateway, it's like it opened a
Yeah.
thing in my mind of
Oh,
like,
I mean, I remember the
holy
green
cow.
computers. You know,
Did
like the
you?
MS-DOS run one. So,
Yes.
like
Did you?
typing those prompts.
Did you have the Apple computers in your school by chance?
Oh
I don't know
no, I
your
think we
age
were like
range, but
before that.
okay. Yeah, we had the Apple ones that had the handles in the back, and it was like domey, and they were colored.
Yeah. Oh, those are cool. I always wanted one. That was like the thing. Like Princess Diaries was coming out, and they all had like these. Everyone had these like sick. Yeah, because they were making all this stuff like these translucent colors, like the Nintendo 64s and the Game
Right?
Boys. They were all like different colors. No, we got one computer that could barely run anything
Mm,
back like in 95, 96,
okay.
and that was our computer forever. That was our computer. I mean, it was not like, my parents couldn't tell you anything besides the power button. Like I don't know. Even that other button that's on the front there, I don't know what that one does.
Right.
Like maybe resets. I don't know. It could be. Maybe it's telling the FBI that I'm here now. Like, hey, like logging on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, the my mom can work a laptop, but I don't think she could work a PC. I know it's like the same
uh,
thing, but like we had a PC for a long time and then we got real slim and then it turned into a laptop. So she got rid of the PC because it was super old and just used the laptop. And so I'm wondering like if I showed her the inside of a PC if she would even know what was going on at all. Like my I'm really fortunate. My stream raised enough money to buy me this computer that I have right now. Oh, wow, that's a setup.
so I'll show you
Oh my
the
god.
things.
Yeah.
This camera's a little more movable.
Oh wow.
So yeah, this is the zone. I've
Wow.
got layers of things, but this is the cooler that I just put in there.
Oh,
That little guy.
beautiful. Yes.
So my second set of cords has just gone out.
Oh, okay.
These guys should be doing what these guys are doing,
Oh.
and they're not. So I'm very mad at that. Um, but yeah, but I kind of got it all in there. I don't like that the GPU doesn't do anything fancy,
Yeah.
but it's all right. So I'll stop making you guys sick with this stuff. But yeah, that's the latest build.
That's so cool. Yeah, my community got me this computer. We raised enough money to get me the computer that I'm currently using because my other one was a server computer from 2009. So, I get Micro Center because when I walked in there, I was like, I'm home. Like it was
Yes, my people.
my people. I love all your monitors. I only have two, but I love all your monitors. That's,
Yeah, comes necessary.
yeah, for sure.
You start being like, oh, there's so much going on. Because like I need to be like watching what the mods are saying up here while I'm watching chat over here while I'm doing whatever down here. And I'm also got like my activity feed over here. Like I need to know all the things that are happening at one time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Um, I just run Wikipedia, so
Wikipedia is easy, baby.
it's it's the wow of the computer world where you could play it because it's this freaking big, the WoW Classic.
Oh yeah.
That freaking big. Okay, so PC building done. Talk to me about VHS collecting.
Oh, I've collected a lot of
Oh,
VHSs.
that's literally an indie
Um,
band. VHS collection is an indie band. That's really crazy.
Not what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
No, not at all. Okay, keep going.
Well, I'll go back and show you again real quick while I have the thing. Moving again. So like this is my entertainment setup basically.
Okay.
Here are some of my favorite ones.
Oh, I lost you. Hold on. Where did you go? Oh no. Hold on a second. Oh, the video ninja. Make big. Make big. Oh gosh, what happened? All right, give me 2 seconds. There we are. Okay, I'm here. All
You're
right.
here?
Yep.
Cool. So I'll try to move slow. But like some of like the VHS stuff here, I like to collect them a good bit. Um, some nostalgic stuff back here. This is like hangout corner. I have a few up here
Wow.
that like there's more in the back. And there's this cabinet
Yes.
that's like full of them.
Did I see some orange ones, Nickelodeon ones up there?
Yeah, there's Hey Arnold, Rugrats, and a bunch of other ones. Some
Yes.
Nickelodeon ones. And I've got more down here. I've got the Indian in the cupboard.
Yes, I have that one too. With the key?
That's a fun one. Yeah, with the key and the Indian.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um Nerd Kingdom, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Um wow, so what is the reason you collect them? It's just cuz you like them or you think that they're vintage or
A few things. I like them. They are vintage. There's something very nostalgic about growing up on it. There's something really cool about like popping in a VHS. I had Sword in the Stone going earlier. Uh, but like something really nostalgic about just like having something like that going, like getting in there and putting in the physical media. It's I don't know. It's just more powerful to me than just like download, buy now, watch now, and not pay attention to it and be on my phone instead. Like something about this, it kind of hits the nostalgia button for me. But also, as a dying medium, VHSs are becoming trendy chic, and as they become obsolete and they'll become like vinyls pretty soon in the next decade, where like if you can find a copy of X, Y, or Z, it'll be worth a lot.
yeah, especially that
You're
Indian in
kind
the
of like,
cupboard one, dude. That's
oh yeah.
that's money.
I have a thing. Let me see if I can send it to you.
Do it
Can I
Discord.
post a link? Yeah, okay. Discord. Where are we at? Here. See if you can access that.
Wow. Yes, I can, and I'll put it in chat too.
But it's fun for me because I'll go to Goodwill and like they're like $1. So I'll go to Goodwill and I'll just see what kind of treasures they have. And so like 99% of these are from Goodwill. Just ones that I found going to different ones over time.
That's
Um,
amazing.
but every time I get one, I put a new one on here. So so if I ever have guests over that like want to like watch a VHS, I'll be like, hey, just look through here and pick one out, and then I'll go friggin' find it. Um,
Oh my
my
gosh.
goal is to get like one of those big giant glass like display cases, but they're just so expensive. They're like a few $100s, so it
Yeah.
might take some time.
Mrs. Doubtfire's on there. Home Alone 1 through 3. Just looking at certain things that I also have on VHS. Oh,
Yeah.
oh wow. You have Aladdin too?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's really cool. I'm really impressed.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. Um yeah, my mom threw out all of my VHSs almost, and I was like all the Disney ones, and I was like, you don't know what
Mm-hmm.
you've done. You don't know what you've
You've
done.
ruined me.
Like
My childhood is gone.
yeah. All right, cool. So we've got about 12 minutes or 22 minutes. 22 minutes. Okay. because I end usually right on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk about video games. So you got Halo and Return the, is it Obra Dinn?
Yeah, those are some of the top two ones
Okay,
that have impacts on me.
let's start with
Because
Halo.
video games is such a broad topic, you can start anywhere. I was like, let me kind of narrow it. Halo saved me. I was homeschooled through middle school, basically. So when I went to high school, I like didn't have friends. Like I was socially awkward as heck for like a year or two, until I kind of got it together. Um, and learned and acclimated and adapted. I was maybe very much an introvert because I realized opening my mouth was bad in high school,
Mm,
when I didn't know how to interact with people that were not my mom and my brother. So Halo was there for me. It was a big deal. It was there for me before that, but it was there a lot in that time period. Um, we have a Christmas that everyone in my family refers to it as Xbox Christmas, and they talk about it whenever something like it's unbelievably awesome that happens in life. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, dude, Xbox Christmas," and I'm like, "Oh, that good?" They're like, "Yeah, that good." I'm like, "No," because they were impossible to get. It was the year the Xbox came out. I don't think it was like 2001 or something like that, 2002. And my aunt, I mean, they were sold out everywhere. Like this is like they dropped right before Christmas. You could not find them. Didn't matter how hard you tried, couldn't find them. My aunt had flown to California and found two. She found one she got for my uncle, and she got one for me, and I didn't know about it. It was in silver wrapping. I remember unwrapping it and just losing my mind. You know, like the videos that you see of kids like on TikTok where they're like, "It's Charizard," they lose their mind.
yeah,
That was me. And my brother got like a PS3, so but those were like not as hard to find.
right.
Um, so anyways, got that. Got Halo Combat Evolved, which was the height of technology in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I would sit alone in my room with like Milk Duds and a Dr. Pepper and some Cool Ranch Doritos and just play the heck out of that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like I played 1,000 times. And so anyways, and this was back when they had midnight releases too. So when Halo 2 dropped, we went to like the midnight release of that, and that's like when it was at a mall for that had a what do you call it, GameStop in it, and
Right.
like they had like the Red Bull truck was there, so we were all like out there partying, waiting for the midnight release. I did that for 2 and 3, and actually 3 was the one that I played. I did semi-professional, and I played that on like a tournament circuit.
Cool.
I was so that was like my game that I was really good at, when it really started shifting towards multiplayer from just the storyline. But it was cool. And that
Wow.
was before um that was before 343 took over the whole thing, and it was Bungie, before they went over to Destiny and started charging people $50 every 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, and by the way, Infozar says he has the 3 Indiana Jones movies in a VHS box set that he just found and he'll send to you.
Oh, really? Oh, I would love that. That'd be awesome. I'll have to make him another watercolor.
Yes.
Send
Um,
you all the beautiful things.
you should put, what was I thinking before? That you should put a, I've already forgotten. It's fine. We're going to talk about Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Return of the Obra Dinn's one of the it's one of the most unknown games that I think is one of the greatest games that is out there. Like it's like one of my top 5 all time, and nobody talks about it. Like it is, you can really only play it through one time. But it's like a mystery puzzle game where you go on this boat and you are looking at you're looking at these things back in time, these little snapshots that you see back in time for just like a little bit of voice, and you're trying to piece together what happened on this boat. and then find out who is who while you're doing it. And so it's just like, I don't know. I can't like. I'm sad that I can only go through it one time, but it is 1,000 times worth sitting there and just going through it. It's so cool.
Is it like Mist?
Not it's not that kind of puzzle.
Okay.
It's more like you're given a scenario and there'll be like a snippet of conversation. It'll be like, like heave ho boys. Oh, she's going overboard. And then you'll see a scene that you can kind of walk through. And so you're putting together faces and you're looking at how different people got killed and where they are in this small snippet, you know what I mean? And then so you can explore the scene basically, and you're looking through the language, you're looking through the logs, and like
Wow.
who's saying what to who was that on, like, so like in this one scene you're walking around, like this person could be off like the side of, like, so if you don't like walk over to the edge of the boat and look down, you may not see somebody down there that you might need to find out who they are, like,
That's
or like if you,
wicked.
it's so good, it's so good. It's worth $15 every time.
Yeah. Wow.
I highly encourage you to try it.
Yeah, it's on Xbox One, so I could definitely look
Yeah.
into it. Slurble agrees, and Slurble, by the way, will be on Wiki Wednesday next week. So if infos are, you can give a shout out, please. Um, yeah, that's crazy. So you said you were on a professional circuit for Halo. Is there any other game that you were that close to or that intense about?
In my time, I mean, that's probably the top tier.
Okay.
I can't. I mean, I have Fallout maybe, but it's not like Fallout's not like a tournament thing.
Right.
Fallout's just like it's that part of that retro futurism that I can play it and feel comfort and adventure.
Which one is your
Like,
favorite Fallout?
it's hard. 4 is the one I've spent the most time with. I went back to 3 and it was a little archaic. New Vegas felt a little archaic. The problem is I started at 4.
Right.
So a lot of people love New Vegas and 3 a lot. I've been playing the heck out of 76 because they've been changing and adding new things. But it's one of the few games that I can play and be content without. So like in a society and in a age where we need multi-stimuli at every point in time, we need to be like texting somebody while playing a game on our phone while TV shows played in the background and we have a video game up over here. Like, it's one of the few things I can turn off everything else and just like listen to like the songs, like this like 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s songs, and just like go adventure and like be excited about like I don't know what's gonna be at the bottom of that house when I go in there, and I like it. It's like the right kind of mystery suspense. That's not like, it's not gory. It's not. I mean, there's some stuff in there, but it's not like, it's not gory. It's not uncomfy. It's the right amount of. It's kind of like the way that Subnautica hit me. Like Subnautica hit me in that vibe where it's like, oh, we're in the ocean. Oh, it's bad stuff. And then you get to like certain places, and you're like, I probably should not go in there. But eventually, I'm gonna need to go in there. Like you could be in your giant submarine, going down there, and you start hearing whoop whoop, and you're like, oh, this is just me here. Anyways, so
That's
yeah, that's kind of the vibes it gives me. That game was there for me. I say like video games for me like a huge point of escapism in my life, where like I would in my loneliness and stuff like that, I would use them to help like curb that. And so that's kind of like Twitch has been such a gracious space because it's like I get to marry two things that I love so much, and I didn't know that this existed. You know what I mean? That like I can have these adventures and stuff like that and share them with other people. And it gets to the point like I get so ADD and so distracted, like I just care about being there with the people.
Yeah.
And like I play more games offline. But it's cool to like see people that are streaming and like share an adventure together. It's kind of like it's like couch co-oping, but like how do you say, hey, I want to be first player and I want to play the entire thing and just have you watch?
Right.
You can't do that. They're like, no, you jerk. I'm not coming to your house. It's my turn, you know? Like, but get people that are like down to go on an adventure with you. Like, I think it's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to watch my brother play video games back when the N64 came out, and he let me
Yeah.
watch from the bedroom door. That's what I was allowed to do, is watch from the bedroom door. Um
Oh my God.
yeah, he's 6 years older than me, so he was kind of a bully for a little while. But that's
Mm,
neither here nor there. So I loved watching video games. I used to watch my friend Steven play video games. I just got into watching them because I never
mm,
was any good at them. And then I started to like, not until like I started on Twitch did I start to actually play games besides Pokemon, because those games
mm.
I was a wizard. Like I finished all the Pokemon
Yeah.
games.
I,
But
I guess Pokemon has the same vibe to me too. Yeah, the Game
mhm,
Boy ones.
yeah, yeah. And so as soon as I started Twitch, I started playing video games, but I like playing video games with other people more than I like playing video games by myself. I like the adventure together,
Mm,
then we're talking at each other and such. Because also I scream when there's enemies and they kill them for me. So it works out
right.
perfect.
You're like, yeah,
I'm helping.
I'm helping. Go team.
Right.
We're in this together.
I'm the healer basically. Cuz I
Yeah.
play D&D, and so like I'm usually the one healing
Yeah.
everybody and shooting everything with arrows. Like I'm not I'm a bard.
Okay.
I'm not there to fight. I'm there to just screw some things up and help everybody.
I love D&D. I miss playing.
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm in a great campaign right now, and it's tons of fun. It's my first and only.
jealous.
It's great.
First and only? Oh, there's nothing like your first one. When you
Mhm.
understand, like, you mean I can do anything I want?
I
Like, there's no rules?
There are no
There
rules. Put your shirt back on.
are
There's one
consequences.
rule. Okay, good. So we have 9 minutes. So that's perfect time for me to ask you about how you got into cosplay.
How I got into cosplay. Can I tell you about that after I run to the bathroom real quick? Because
Yeah.
it'll take less than a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to sing the potty
Okay.
song or something.
Yeah.
Potty, potty, song, song, song. I don't know. I don't know the Wiggles. I wish I knew that song better because I only saw it once. Trench, can you sing it for me? Can you just type out the words and I'll sing it? Yeah. I think my favorite thing that goes off in Raven's stream is that airplane. That freaking fly. I'm sorry. I think that's the funniest shit ever. When it's just metal music and this plane is just like flapping its wings and flying. Oh, it's perfect. I absolutely love it. I
That's a
love
great
it.
one.
Yeah, that's funny as
Beer is
hell.
good. Beer is good. That's all. Let's go drink some beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beer, beer. I drink beer when I am sad because that beer it makes me glad. What a song. Ah,
Okay.
yeah. Who remembered Psycho Stick? Sheesh.
Yeah, the Alpha Mutation is like friends with Psycho Stick or something like that. I don't know.
No way.
Yeah. If Ozar would tell you more about that, I don't know the connection, but
All right.
okay.
We can hang out.
Cosplay.
Yeah, cosplay. So one day I woke up and I went outside and there was a little guy and he told me, "Hey, you know what? One day you're going to grow up to be a great wizard." And then I said, "No way, you're lying." And he said, "Yes way." And so anyways, now I cosplay. No, I'm kidding. So there's actually a story. My birthday falls in October, right before Halloween. So um, I was not allowed to celebrate Halloween going up. Um, and so when I got to college, and it was near my birthday, and I had formed a relationship with alcohol.
Yep.
I was like, you know what would make this even better is if we had a birthday party with alcohol and we dressed up as it, you know? And anyways, so I started having costume parties for my birthday every year. And they were just like raging, drunken kids just running around in costumes. And it was nuts. And there was no supervision. I feel like I'm in a John Mulaney bit right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was nuts. And we were just screaming at the top of our lungs. Um,
I love John Mulaney.
so do I. So, but it was literally that, and it was insanity. We were crazy people. But anyways, one year, I was like, you know, who's like the baddest dude in Hollywood right now that I could dress up as, you know? I tried doing a Spartan one year, and I was, you know, I wasn't exactly like the cut for it back then. Um, but I was like, you know, who's awesome is that Jack Sparrow guy. That guy is BA. He is so cool. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do him. I'm gonna dress up like Jack Sparrow. So I ordered my adult male pirate costume from the internet, like Halloween warehouse. I did not. It's not the costume that you see now. Like no pieces of it are the same. But that's what I did, you know. And I was out there, and that was before I didn't. I don't even think I had makeup on. I don't even think I did makeup. I don't think I even had like eyeliner. It was that bad. But I did it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm a pirate! I'm a pirate!" And my voice wasn't how it was. I was like, I was just really like, I was like, "Hey, doing the things, and I have the rum, and I am going to be drunk on my birthday." That was probably a little too good. Then, but anyway, so I had that costume, and I never considered myself a cosplayer. Um, and we started doing Twitch, and then about a week into Twitch, I was like, you know what might be fun is to play this Sea of Thieves game dressed up like my pirate costume that I have in the closet that I've had for so many years. So I threw it on, and I went from like no viewers to like 4 viewers, and I was like, "Yeah, I have won the night. I am solidified in my career." And so I was pumped. And anyways, I was like, my buddy was like, "Hey, why don't you just do Jack every stream?" And so I started doing that. And the more I did it, the more I found better pieces and you know, and anyways, so I got Jack to like where I want him to be. You know, I still want to get another wig from QTC 1 because mine is from 4. Um, but I got him to where I wanted him to be, and I was like, why don't I try other characters? And so then that's when I started like really like dabbling in voices and impressions, and I was like, maybe I can match these two together. Um, and then yeah, the more I started doing it, like the more I got comfortable saying that I was a cosplayer, you know. I've got a closet full of like 60 different outfits. You could walk in there and become anybody and
Amazing.
come back out. So yeah, it's a really fun thing to do to like put on a persona for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I went to a performing arts high school. So I did a lot of acting and character playing, but nothing like cosplaying. And I've always wanted to like do more. And I watch you and I'm in awe. Literal awe. Every single time you put any costume on and any voice on, you are incredible. And I'm so glad you're on the show. This is me wrapping up. I'm so glad that you're on the show. um, but I also genuinely mean it. Like you have a banging community who really love you, and you could tell every time you walk into that stream, go onto that stream, that they absolutely adore you, and I can totally see why. So I hope you know that. I hope you know how great you are because you deserve every single bit that you're getting.
Well, I am entirely grateful and always way too humble and self-critical. But I am so grateful for that sentiment. I say it wouldn't exist without the people that come by, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and the people working with me behind the scenes to make it all happen. I just get out there and act like a goofball, and hopefully it's funny.
Oh yeah, no, it is. You do great. Thank you again for coming on the show. I sincerely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope everybody here, Jack, if you could throw up a follow, a thing for the RavenArmed. And is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you wanted to touch on, or do you feel like we had a good thing here?
I feel like we hit a lot. I learned stuff about myself, a little bit more every day.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, it's good. I think the only thing we didn't really talk about was good food. We started to get into, we talked about olives, but maybe next time we hang out, we'll have to talk about tacos versus pizza and who wins that battle.
Yeah.
But
When we talk about pizza winning the battle, we'll definitely have a conversation about it.
all right, it sounds good.
All right, guys, we're gonna go on a raid. Raven, you're welcome to stick around. If not, I understand if you have to leave. We are gonna go to your old dad. He's been on the show before. He does game shows where you can actually
Ah,
participate in the game shows itself. Um, I hope everyone had a great time here. I know I did. And next week we have Slurble. But we're going to go to see your old dad. I have a horrible raid call. Feel free to copy it if you want to. No pressure. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Say bye.